Well, I would love to, I guess, explain our project for today. And Camila, I would love to say hi to Camila as well. So, our project, it's a little bit like, and maybe you'll disagree with me, maybe not, but it's a fun project anyway. At least I had fun doing it. It's a little bit like what is it, like stained glass. And that's what I had in mind when I was doing this kind of project. I was like in my head thinking, what can we do that kind of looks like stained glass in which I can actually use my highlighters? Because that's what I use. I use my highlighters, and I was like, I really want to use these because I just have them sitting. They're not doing anything. However, you guys, of course, who's speaking? There's Karen coming in. Okay. So of course, you guys do not have to use highlighters, okay? I have another I have another version as well that I made with my usual markers that I normally use. It's these guys right here, my lovely little Crayola mix. So no matter what you choose to use, you layer your colors. Now, in this particular picture, the regular markers, what I did was I want to say I chose maybe five. Yeah, maybe five colors. So have those ready. You can have a specific color scheme if you want to think about that. Maybe you want to do cool colors, so blues, purples, greens. Maybe you want to do warm colors, so those would be the really bright ones like orange, red, yellow, even purple. Honestly, some purples can be really vibrant and warm as well, like this one, this lovely fuchsia right here. I am also, in addition to the markers, I'm going to have a Sharpie marker too. You can do in any other brand, honestly. You can do, the only reason I chose a Sharpie marker is because it's a thicker line. That's why. So if you don't have a thicker marker, that's okay. You can always go over your pen lines again to make a little bit thicker. It'll take a little bit longer, but you'll get there. Um, so you can have it oriented this way, or if you want to do it a little bit differently, you can have it oriented this way. So totally up to you what you want to do. Now I have a lot of wavy lines, and all of these wavy lines are going to start to crisscross. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at the very top here, and I'm going to wave it down. And then I'm going to take another one, and perhaps I can follow the same path, maybe make it a little bit thicker at the bottom. I don't know. You guys, it's up to you guys how much space you want in between. But eventually I'm going to want to start kind of crisscrossing too. So take your time with it. Every little section is going to be a little bit different. So just kind of watch out for it. Little by little, start crisscrossing. And I know I'm going kind of fast, so I'll kind of slow down a little bit. Let y'all catch up to that. And you can have a couple of different curves. Like it doesn't really have to be exactly like this. Maybe I want it to curve a little more. That one's kind of different. Maybe it gets a little thicker down there. I'm just talking out loud to see
What's the
see what I can do.
pattern?
I'm sorry?
What's the purpose of the curvy line pattern?
The purpose was just to make something simple. Some simple little sections in which we can go sort of vertically, sort of more like up and down whenever we fill each section individually. So, but if you want to make like an actual picture within this area, you can make your own picture too. So just kind of be creative with it. There we go. Maybe I'll just kind of put one more section in here and then I'm good. Any more questions? Ooh. Okay, we're okay. All right, any questions? Now I want to show you guys the highlighter version too. This one, I found my highlighters actually running out of highlighter ink, but I found that I really liked the texture. So really what I was doing was I was playing around with the texture. So you can see it's kind of, it got kind of hard to spread the marker on some areas, but it worked out for me. I was very patient. I did have to press down hard in some areas, but in the end, it worked out with it. And it was all just about that patience. So with the highlighters, I would say just use whatever colors you have. If you happen to have these highlighters, use what you've got. I happen to have, how many colors? I didn't even count them. Looks like 5 colors. Because I have a pink over here. And of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I had 6 colors to choose from. So work with that if that's what you want. I use the thicker ones. Now, anytime you're ready, once you have your markers, your colors all picked out, let me show you what we can do. Perhaps I'll just start with green. We'll just start with that and see where this one takes us. So I mentioned earlier the vertical brush strokes that we want, marker stroke, excuse me. So pick a spot, and you can be calculated if you want to, or you can just start anywhere. I'm actually going to start in a really easy spot. It's a smaller area. That's really what I mean by easy. It's just smaller. So I'm going to start by following the side here, but eventually I'm going to start to overlap and go vertically. I'm not going to completely fill in this area. That's only because I want to leave some space for other colors too. So whatever color you decide to use. And I made a little rule for myself. I forgot to mention this part, but I made a little rule, and that's to only have maximum of 3 colors within each little section. So most of them actually only have 2. Some of them have 3. But again, most of them have 2. So this one has green and yellow, this one pink and orange, purple and pink. So I think it's really over here, this one, that these few over here that have 3. Pick a spot. I can pick the spot. And it's really just about working with the colors and filling them in using this kind of pattern. I should have mentioned before, but right before we got on, I actually had this idea to make a butterfly and then use the same kind of technique where we're layering the colors on top of the butterfly. So if you say maybe you finish this, in a few minutes or in like 20 minutes, you can go back and maybe challenge yourself and maybe do a butterfly or maybe some other kind of imagery if you can think of something. Any questions?
I'm doing enough flowers.
Oh yeah, a bunch of flowers. Let me spotlight you. There you go. That's pretty. Yeah. Go for it.
And I did it by tracing the bottom of the cup and other circular objects. That way I can make it easy on myself and not have to be so anal retentive about the shapes.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Totally shape it.
I have a quick question.
Yes, go for it.
So you said 3 colors in a section. What do you mean by section? Or can you show where?
Yeah, it's more like this is a section, like each individual
okay.
space
All right.
between the lines.
Okay.
Mhm. So down here, I maybe a little bit hard to tell on the camera, but I started off with the green, then I added purple, and then a little bit of pink. And then this one is purple, fuchsia, and pink. So it's a little hard to see just because they're just in the corner. But most of these are two colors. I'm actually going to up the brightness on this. Hopefully that's a little better. Okay. You know, I wonder if I could stick with maybe cool colors. I am using the thick side of the marker too. That way it just kind of helps me to fill things in a little bit more quickly. Whenever I was making this, I found that it was really soothing to have music on in the background. I know I've said this about other projects too, but this was one of those where it's just really nice when you have something playing in the background. Maybe not so much like a podcast, really something that's more relaxing. That's just my recommendation. You can move on to another color whenever you're ready. Take your time with it though. So I mentioned sticking with cool colors. So I'll just move on to turquoise and I'll show you how I layer. Once you're ready to move to a new color, it's the same process. You start by kind of outlining the inside, but then you're going to cross over a little bit. So let's see, maybe this one. Maybe I want some of my turquoise to kind of stretch over into the next section. This is where we can start to layer the colors. Like that. And it becomes a different kind of green too. But I can still see that original light green underneath it. So you could even stretch some of these colors into the next section too. Perhaps I can stretch it into this one. We may end up making 2 of these pictures in one class period. Just kind of depends on you guys. So how's everyone been this week?
Well, it's Monday, so we'll see.
It's Monday. It's Monday, all right. That's about right.
Yeah.
Freezing here in Colorado.
Oh, I bet. We're just starting to freeze here in San Antonio.
Well, right now we're at 1 degree right
Ooh.
now.
1
Yeah.
degree, a whole
Degree.
whopping 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been this way for 3 days now, where it's been single digits or teens. So yeah, I'm tired of it already. So
that's winter,
You
all
have
right.
snow on the ground?
yeah, well, we've had snow on the ground in Colorado since before the holidays. It's been just really cold. It hasn't melted really at all. So yeah.
Oh,
So
man,
and
that's
I
a
don't know about
lot.
yeah, and I don't know about any like when it gets really cold like this, my skin burns. Like it just feels like I'm on fire sometimes.
Ooh,
Yeah, it's just not a fun
ouch.
feeling. Yeah. So,
Ouch. Jeez.
yeah, not a fun feeling.
Do you ever stop and have snow fights, like snowball fights, or is it just too burny?
Well, right now it's too cold, but in the past I just have to, I have to wear gloves to make sure it doesn't, like, because
Oh
I
yeah.
can't do cold on my hands. So, yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah. But right now it's just too cold.
This Texas girl just thinks that people have snowball fights all the time.
Oh, it is fun though. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's gonna freeze tonight here, but it's barely gonna reach like 32. That's
Yeah.
it. So really not bad for us. I'm more concerned about my tires for when I go into work tomorrow because I need my brake pads changed out. So that's not going to be any fun. I'm considering not going in tomorrow. It's basically what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, don't want to mess with those brakes.
I concur with that decision wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Speaking of tires, I ordered some new tires off of Amazon, and my mechanic came over today and gave me his car, and he took mine and put my tires on.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh,
Yeah,
he did. That's awesome.
yep, he
Well-
left me a loaner car.
And you got your tires put on. That's
I
awesome.
sure did, balanced and what do they call it?
Rotated.
Yeah, the rotated.
Yeah,
balance.
rotated. Isn't it something they have to do with the axles too? If I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
Something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I need to pay attention to that stuff more. Well, that's awesome. I love that. Any questions about the project? Just want to check in with you guys. That's all.
So are we solely using highlighters?
No, you can. In fact, I'm not using my highlighters yet. I'll probably do that on another one, my next one.
Okay, so just regular markers will have the same effect?
Yes, regular markers will have the same effect. I'm actually using the thicker side. I don't know if you can see this, but that thick side right there.
So whenever you go over with two different crayon or not, I mean markers, doesn't it muck up your marker tip?
What do you mean by muck it up? Like it, like the
that,
layering?
the other color gets onto the other tip of the.
Oh, I think it depends on the color you're using.
Okay.
And that's a really good point too, because if I were using yellow, for example, or some other really light color,
Yeah.
then yes, it would get onto the color. So if you had a scrap piece of paper around you, you could just kind of try to wipe it off on the
Okay.
scrap piece of paper.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I'm actually really glad you brought that up because that's not something that I always think about.
Oh,
Yeah. And for me, in case you're wondering why you're not seeing very much color overlap, is because I want to get this for me personally. You guys don't have to do it this way, but for me, I want to get more colors on there before I decide which ones to overlap. So now that I'm seeing a little bit more covered, I think I want to add a blue somewhere else over here. So maybe I can start small. Maybe I can add a little bit of blue up here. And I can even stretch it. So this is the same like royal blue that I'm stretching into both areas. And I'm trying to be careful to not cover up too much just because it's a very strong color. So it's, you can already see it kind of overpowering this really light color here, the green. But if I can leave some space, it's a little bit of a subtle change, but it looks pretty good that way if I just leave a little bit of the green sticking through. So just kind of pay attention to the way the colors interact on top of other colors. Pay attention to the way you're holding the brush. Perhaps pay attention to where you put the colors. And just sort of start to think about your picture as a whole. So I'm always constantly looking back and forth, up and down, side to side on my picture, because I always want to balance things out with these colors. Unless I have like another idea in my mind, of course.
I'm finding a lot of dry brushes, or I mean markers.
Yeah, I'm encountering some of those too. I do use I do use markers quite often. Maybe I might actually incorporate some of my highlighters into this one. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. Maybe I will put like, maybe I'll start with this blue. Let's see what that looks like. Not bad. It's light enough that I can start to fill in these white spaces in between. Maybe I can jump over a spot.
Can you say again, because
Mhm.
about not doing more than 2 colors in the line, or is it like across horizontally?
Um,
I know you said it, but it's, you know, you said other things, and then that bit of information flew out of my head.
oh, is it the part where I was describing how to go over the lines once you have a second color?
No, when you're choosing your colors, like yeah, like you said, not to put more than 2 colors in a
Oh
line.
yeah, because it might get a little bit muddy. And you can see this particular one right here. There's a very fine line between muddy gray and what I have here. So whenever I did this, my main color, I started off with light green. And so when I went over it with my, I think it was pink that I did next, I would aim for the white spaces in between. And
Oh,
then
you
later
meant
on,
2 colors in a square, not like on the line.
yeah, I mean like 2 or 3 colors within each section.
Within each, oh, okay.
Yeah. So when I went over with my third color, which was lavender, I was pretty conservative with it, but again, I was able to aim for whatever white lines were left over. And what I mean by white lines is these spaces that are caught in between your brush strokes.
Oh, okay. I mean,
So
I
there's a big
interpreted it in a
one.
completely different way, so that's helpful.
It's okay. Yeah. Yeah, I do encourage you guys, if you happen to have highlighters or if you happen to get highlighters sometime in the future, I really encourage you guys to try it because the highlighters particularly are very light. So because they're so light, because they're so transparent, you can layer your colors much more easily. In fact, you could even put 3 or even 4 colors within each section and it'll turn out pretty nice. Like this one right here, this one has maybe 4 colors. This one has probably 4 or 5 colors in it. It's a very rich effect. Like it makes it look very rich. Maybe layered is the better word. Makes it look layered. Now, I'm just talking out loud. I kind of want to add more of this blue because I'm loving this blue. So how's everyone else's week? Hope y'all are staying warm.
I had a good time yesterday celebrating my sister's birthday.
Oh yeah, okay. I saw your Instagram picture. It looked really fun.
It was a speakeasy, so I think that was my first time at a speakeasy.
Nice.
Oh,
That
that's
sounds really fun.
It was
Yeah.
it was at a deli in DC. So you go into the deli, you have to give them a password, and then you open a door and there's a whole party room back there.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I love that.
It's like, shh.
What is a speakeasy? You know, it's kind of one of those things you think you know what it is, but maybe you don't.
I think it's from the Prohibition days.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm. Yep.
Hidden alcohol
Yeah.
places.
Yeah. They really would build hidden rooms in which people would go and drink alcohol back there.
mhm.
I wonder what the name comes from.
Oh.
Probably where the alcohol flows, so does the speaking.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's probably really open to a lot of
Yeah.
interpretation.
Love
Oh
that.
yeah.
Let's speak.
I know. That sounds so fun though. I remember going to a place that kind of sounds like that, but here in town in San Antonio. But the thing is that you have to know somebody who knows the location of this place because it's not on Google Maps.
Right.
And this was a long time ago, maybe like 4 or 5 years ago that I went. But
Yeah.
like you go and my sister knew the location of this place and there was a man in a suit just hanging out, like this is downtown. He was just standing there. So you go up to this man and you whisper the password to him and then he lets you down and you go down like some long stairs, and there was like a huge picture of like a rose because that was part of the name of this place. There's a huge picture of this a neon sign. I'm sorry, a neon sign of this rose. So that's how you knew it's the right door and you're not going to some strange, mysterious place. And the whole place didn't have any lights down there except for one huge neon sign way in the back. So it was all dark, you know.
Mhm.
But it was super cool spot. I think
There's
their specialty.
another one I want to try in DC. It's in a barber shop, and it's like on the top floor or something like that. And then you go into the barber shop and push this bookcase, or it appears to be a bookcase. And
Ooh,
then behind the bookcase, there's another flight of stairs that leads to this whole bar situation going on.
that's cool.
In
Sounds
Atlanta,
amazing.
we have a red phone booth, and you go into the red phone booth and punch in a code on the phone, and it opens the door. It's like for
Cool.
smoking
I guess
cigars
it's like
and
that.
drinking bourbon.
It's like that secret menu they have at In-N-Out Burger. You know, it's like
Yeah,
we're in on the
yeah.
secret.
Yeah, it kind of makes you feel special. The phone booth though, I think that sounds really cool.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to show you this part. Don't be afraid to mix colors, or I'm sorry, overlap colors that you wouldn't normally think to overlap. I'm about to go over this green with this purple marker. It's a purple highlighter specifically, but I know that green and purple make sort of muddy colors, but muddy does not always equal a bad thing. In fact, it gives any kind of painting or drawing a kind of richness. It helps the other colors sort of stand out a little bit better. So I really wanted to see what these two colors were going to look like, knowing that they would make more of a muddy color. And I love it. Like I'm loving this part right here. So don't be afraid to experiment a little bit more. And this is what layering projects are all about. It's all about layering different colors just to see what would happen. Colors that you wouldn't normally layer together. And I'll probably do this somewhere else too, because I really love the way this purple interacts. Maybe I'll put a little purple over here. I'm just talking out loud now. I can see some of my purple poking through the white right here. Well, it's on the white, so it looks like it's poking through. And I'm gonna go ahead and put it on top of this teal too. Too shabby. Eventually you can really push yourself to layer more and more colors together. Again, using colors that you wouldn't normally layer together. I'm just excited to use my highlighters because I never get to use them. I bought like a huge set of highlighters from Amazon maybe like 2 years ago, I think. And I just never get to use them.
Say that anymore.
What was that?
My best friend's birthday is coming up next month, and I was asking her what she wanted for her birthday. And
Yeah.
so he asked me to do a birth chart. So I spent the weekend making birth charts and doing readings for her son.
Wow. How long does it take you to make a birth chart?
A couple hours. It depends on how detailed I get with it.
Okay.
If I go through all the planetary alignments, or if I'm just doing a sun sign. If I just do like the sun sign, it doesn't take me hardly any time. But if I go through the entire planetary alignment, then it can take me up to a whole weekend.
Wow.
Since it was a
A lot of work.
present for her, I figured I'd be more detailed.
Yeah. Well, that sounds fun.
It is. I like to do the research.
It's a really neat present, though. I think that's mostly what it is for me. That's pretty unique.
Not near as fun as a speakeasy, but it's still kind of fun.
Still pretty fun, I think.
I like to learn, so.
Yeah. Trying to think about what I've been doing lately. Well, first I'll say, 2023 kind of sucks so far. So,
Why?
um, a lot health issues, other people's health issues. Had a death in the family last week, so not fun at all, really. But hey, I'm here with you guys, so it's what I needed. But at least I have had a chance to make more me artwork, because I know I've mentioned before that I can't always just kind of sit down and work on my artwork for me, and I have been able to do that a little bit more lately, so that's been really nice.
You have very high expectations of yourself, Hannah.
I do. I know I do. It's
Lower
so
your
bad.
standards.
So bad. I know I do. You're not the first person to tell me that either, because like,
You have,
and not,
you have high standards for where it matters, you know. I remember meeting this woman and she said to me, you know, how do you find an available man? You know, and she's like in her 50s. I said, lower your standards. And she said, well, I already did. But you
you
know,
don't want to go past a certain point though.
but you, at least when it comes to like love and the heart and connection and work, your standards are high.
Thank
and it
you.
works.
Thank you. I will have to say my love standards are very high. That's for sure.
And that's more important than accomplishments. What did you accomplish today? You know?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty proud of myself for like actually taking naps. And I know that's not a big deal to some people, but like it's a big deal for me.
It
I'm
is.
taking more naps.
Yeah, it's a big deal. I get it.
I mean, you need to. I need to. There we go. I was missing this green. I needed more green. Yeah, those naps. In
Relax.
fact, I took a nap right before this class, so I'm good.
I just heard the other day of people who like to take naps before dinner. They call them nappetizers.
Uh-huh.
I love it. Appetizers. I love it. My new favorite word. What'd you do before class? I took an appetizer. I ate an appetizer, or I had an appetizer. I love it.
This is a good appetizer. I was like, I don't know if I should come. I'm just really like overwhelmed. I just can't do a lot of things. And it's like, oh, I could do this.
Make some art. Love it. Can't do anything at all. At least try to make some art. Oh, okay. Speaking of which, has anybody done anything creative this week? Please, I'd love to see it. Oh, Sharon, I see you, Sharon. Gonna add you. Hey, look at you. That background, that's so beautiful.
You got your birds in there.
Yeah.
Very
You
nice.
did so well on that background. It is not easy to blend very well. You did it so well. I love it. Thank you, Sharon. Super cool. Anyone else?
Yeah,
Barbara, I
this.
see you, Barbara. Yeah. Hey, look at that.
Ooh.
Oh, that's
Look at
pretty.
those
Wow.
roses. I
What medium is
know.
that?
Acrylic.
Nice.
Acrylic.
Oh, and
That's
it says love.
beautiful.
Yeah, so it was supposed to be it was a class where we were working on like lettering on top of artwork. So it's love and it's above all things.
Oh yeah.
Above there it is. Yeah,
Are those
that's
hydrangeas
gorgeous.
or
Pretty. I
sorry,
like the colors.
Thank you.
nice?
Yeah, the colors are gorgeous too. So is the background too.
Yeah, that was fun. I did that first. I did like cross hatching with reds and yellows and like a mix.
Oh, mix, yeah. Very cool. Thank you. Who else?
I'm trying to find a picture for you.
Yeah, yeah. Let me know when you have it.
Will do. Ah.
Oh,
Okay,
Anna Marie.
got it.
Oh, yeah. Let me put Carolyn and I'll go back to you, Anna Marie. What's that?
The Mardi Gras
Oh,
mask.
it's a mask.
Oh.
Hey, that's cool. It's pretty.
We're going to be doing a Mardi Gras on the 21st, and so we bought a bunch of masks, and I
Yeah.
an example for them. And
Yeah, that was pretty neat.
my version.
I can't remember the last time I made any kind of mask, honestly. So I love it. Anna Marie, I'll put you up next. And then Brandy, you'll be next after Anna Marie. Oh, what are those?
Oh.
Are
Oh,
those
they're
the
cute.
CDs again?
The CDs, yeah. I don't know if you knew this, but you're muted.
Sorry.
Very nice.
So I just
Those
like,
are super cute.
yeah,
I
just,
love them.
they're a lot of fun using paint markers, and that's what I've been
Yeah,
doing.
I like the symmetry of them because I think the circularness of them uh really lends itself to the symmetry.
Thanks.
Cool, I love it. Brandy.
So made a few different things. This is thank you, thank you cards to people. So I made like postcards.
Oh,
And this one. Oh, that's nice.
wow.
So
Those are cute. How
yeah,
long
they're
did they
fun.
take you?
Oh, not long. Not long at all. The thing that this took me forever because I never tried to like do a watercolor background. So trying to get the blue in all the spaces was very
That's tough.
onerous.
Yeah.
Is there writing on top?
Oh yeah. So
Oh,
it says
thank you.
thank
Yeah, I
you.
see that now.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
love that subtlety
cute.
of it, you know? It's like,
Yeah, it
Mhm.
was my partner's parents brought me art stuff. So I thought I'd make something with it.
Yeah. I love
Just have
that.
to
So
finish.
watercolors.
Yeah, ink. I drew the flowers and then I watercolored, and and then the thank you is the white crayon.
Oh yeah, okay. Love it.
Hmm.
Yeah, I agree with you, Karen. I like the subtlety of the thank you. Beautiful. I love them.
Nice.
Anyone else like to share?
Yeah, I made this birthday card coming up for
Yeah.
one of my friends.
Let me
Yeah.
look for you, Susie.
I'm over here.
There you are. I know you're like, I'm right here.
oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
that's really nice.
Pretty.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can't really see under here, but it says happy birthday to my beautiful friend. But yeah.
That's awesome. What'd you make it out of?
It's stamps, and then there's some vellum back here, like clear vellum with strips across it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Wow.
and then these are stamps that with die cuts that cut out. And then,
That retro look. I like it.
oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very much a mixed media project. I love that.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's really nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff going on. A lot of people did a lot of things.
It's too cold to go outside.
Yes, exactly.
True. That's a very good point. Too cold to do much, really. Okay. So for me, I'm just trying to figure out last minute touches because I have a few, well, I have a couple, well, I guess more than a couple of sections here that need another color, at least a second color. So I'm just gonna figure out what else to do with those, and then I'll start on another one. Anyone else on a second one?
Yeah.
Not yet.
I don't think I'm gonna have enough markers to go on to a second one. So maybe I could try it with like colored pencil or
Yeah, I think it could work with colored pencil. Man, I wish I made one with colored pencil.
this is looking pretty
But
lame.
yeah, colored pencil. I think also crayons too, just because crayons are thicker.
Oh, okay.
It's the thickness that I'm thinking of. I'm trying to think though, what else could you use?
Well,
I
I'm
think
using,
either could work though.
I was gonna say I'm using markers, but I decided to treat the markers like watercolor because you know how washable markers you can. So I like outlined in the color, and then I took a wet paintbrush and just like painted the inside.
Yeah, care to
Oh.
show us, or you want to show us later? There we
Oh my
go.
gosh, that's cool
Cool.
looking.
Oh,
That's gorgeous.
Yeah, that's cool.
Man, mind if I do the same?
Yeah.
So you
I
know
want
there,
to do
the
it.
washable markers does that?
Yeah. Any kind of washable marker does that. Isn't
Wow,
that
I
fun?
love it.
Yeah, when you
Yeah.
said stained glass, it reminded me of
Mhm.
like in middle school one time we took like the glue and we put black paint in it, and then we did outlines and then we did
Oh,
like chalk on the inside. And I was like, ooh, that might
mhm.
be like, that's what I was picturing when I pictured stained glass. And then
Yeah, I can.
and then I saw yours
Wow.
and I'm like, ooh, I wonder if I can do that watercolor trick. I've never gotten a chance to do that yet. I've been wanting to.
Well, we're
So,
gonna do it. Thanks to you, Barbara. We're gonna do it. At least I am. I love that idea so much. So let's see. I don't think the
I had the
highlighters
same idea.
are.
I had the
Oh,
same
you
idea,
did?
but mine doesn't look nearly as pretty.
Oh,
Mine looks a hot mess.
a hot mess. That's funny. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I have water next to me, so why not? The only thing about adding water to it is that if you have two colors, those colors will definitely blend together. And here's the perfect example right here. It's making this really nice little emerald green color, which is lovely. I actually really love this color. And I'm going to take this opportunity to spread some of this color down into the next section, just because I think that would be a pretty cool effect of dragging the color into the next section. And then continuing to spread the color from there. Now if you want to do this, I'm actually using a round brush. So it's one of the pointy brushes right here. So I'm actually gonna try to give you guys a closer up shot of this, because I don't think you guys are really properly able to see this green. It's so lovely.
The
And there's
water.
that subtle change. Yeah, with the water on it right there. Now,
I
so
forgot
if
that
you're,
I had my laptop go to the nighttime, it like changes the colors to be friendly to your eyes.
yeah.
Everything has been
Blue
so
light
messed
or
up.
yellow light.
So I just changed
Oh,
it. I'm like, oh, I see the emerald green now.
is that a new thing for you too? Because I just started doing that too.
No, it's not. I
Oh,
just
okay.
forget. Like it's usually my partner will be like,
Yeah.
"Can you change that?" I like when we're watching a movie because it's, and I forget.
Yeah. Yeah, I forget too. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah, I just started doing that myself, and I like it, but it does get in the way. Now, for me, this is just something that's going through my head. Because I have so much rich color right here, I think I have a little bit of wiggle room to move it into this the section that's right next to it. I'm going to use a lot of water because I don't want it to be overpowering, but I'm really just going to drag this color into the next area. I was already feeling like this blue section needed a little something extra. So I just figured I would drag that color in, and I like it. It's working out. really what I'm doing is just kind of dragging my excess color, like the really, really bright colors, into another section that's nearby. So I'm really just playing around with the layering of colors. I don't have any real aim anymore. It's just to see what happens with each section, especially if I've already mixed colors. Oh, I'm sorry, especially if I've already layered colors with just the marker. For me, eventually it just becomes about the process of moving the paint around, or the process of just working what you've got, working with your medium. Now,
That's
if
mine.
anybody, oh
Yeah.
yeah, where are you, Susie? Where are you? Here you are. There we go. Oh, that's pretty.
Oh, thank
Again,
you.
with the colors, those are beautiful.
Yeah, I did add, just because I was like, oh, I want to add water to mine too. So
Yeah.
everyone else
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. Well, I really love the way some of the colors are interacting. Like I think that I see purple and yellow.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, purple and orange in some
yeah,
area.
there's purple and orange.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really pretty. It almost looks like a wavy blanket to me.
Oh,
Yeah.
It looks so
Yeah.
much like yours, Hannah, that I thought it was yours, and then I realized, oh no, these are different colors.
oh.
Thank you, Susie.
Thank you. That was fun.
Hannah, I love what you're doing now. What is that a gel pen or what is that?
Yes, yes, I'm glad you pointed it out. I'm using a Jelly Roll pen. It's a white pen, and I don't really know exactly what to do yet, but I decided I would start by outlining the lines with this thing. So you can kind of see the effect of it right here. And I don't know. I don't know why I decided to do that. I think I just wanted to make some of these lines stand out some more, because the black lines are just fading, they're disappearing. So the white pen just helps them to stand out.
And you said that's a
So
jelly
White
pen?
pen.
yeah, Jelly Roll.
Jelly
So
roll. Okay.
I remember these were all the rage when I was in like high school and middle school. Everybody needed to have a Jelly Roll pen.
Yeah.
So I feel like a cool kid now. And I
I
don't
have
get
to
to use them often.
I have to see if I can go find mine now because I'm sure I have one somewhere.
Yeah,
Heard of
and
it.
honestly, I think that if you wanted to make your own patterns inside of them, you definitely can do that. So make your own pattern. I know that
Like
Pinterest has a ton of patterns.
that's what I did in the center of my flowers.
Yeah, I remember that now. Yeah,
Haley
good.
got hooked on acrylic markers that are fine tipped like that, but they really, really cover any kind of color. And that's what I used on that mask. It made it really easy to put the
Mm.
there.
What kind of markers did you say they were?
They're acrylic markers.
Oh, yes, acrylic markers. Yes.
Especially,
Acrylic marker, meaning like it's acrylic paint marker?
Mhm.
Oh,
It's in a pen. In fact, I
Oh.
have some back here. I can show you guys.
it has a fine tip on one end and it has a thicker tip on the other end. And so you could do like dots or you could do the hash marks and stuff.
Yeah, so it's literally acrylic paint in marker form.
wow.
These only have the one size tip, but I know that you can buy them individually with the thicker ones. But that's what it is. It's just paint. So you can mark on top of anything that acrylic paint can be marked with. These are the expensive ones, but they're really nice. They're just really nice quality.
The ones
So,
like not that expensive, but they worked really good.
yeah, I mean, you can find really great brands out there, so you don't have to have the fancy things.
More art stuff I need. Okay.
I know. Just don't put me in a Michael's or a Joann's or something when I don't have much money.
Company credit card, honey.
Oh God, I wish. I so wish.
I can teach you to make gift bags using origami.
Oh, that's cool. See, that sounds like fun. Like it always sounds fun to me, but then when I actually do it, it's like, oh no, I don't think I like this.
I have to take off. So everyone have a good week and
Yes.
see you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Susie.
Bye.
Bye, Susie.
Bye.
Is there anyone else who would like to share?
I will, because I'm going to leave as well.
Yeah, Marianne, let me put you up here. There you are.
There I
There
am.
we
Oh.
go.
You have nice colors together.
Oh,
Yeah.
these were the only highlighters I had.
Oh,
So
those
I
are
had to-
highlighters.
Yeah, I had to use the highlighters. When you said highlighters, I thought I never get to use them. So
Yeah,
they got to come out. So this was fun.
those are nice quality highlighters too. I'm loving those.
Well, thank you. I had
Yeah.
fun tonight. This was really fun.
Good. Thank you, Marianne.
Thank you. You all have a good night.
You
Good
too.
You
night.
too.
Bye.
Take care. See you next week.
See you next
Bye,
week.
Sharon.
Bye. I'll
See
show
you
you
later.
the
Oh, yes, please. Yes, please. Let me
different
see
colors.
here. There
It's-
you go.
yeah. That was my
You don't-
second attempt.
Oh, nice.
Really? Honestly, I love it. I love the gray with the yellow next to each other.
This was my first one. I don't like them, but it was fun.
Oh,
Thank you.
have a good night,
Good
Sharon.
night.
Hi, Sharon.